Oh, hello and welcome. My name is Trismegistus, and eventually the game will catch up. We are playing some Factorio. This is the series I've been calling Noodling About because I just sort of started a new game to get me back into the swing of things. Really, I hadn't streamed for quite a while. I've put on some noise suppression because I have my air conditioner running. It's too hot for me to. I try and what I used to try and do is like cool the room down so it's nice and cold and then stream. But the stream lasts long enough that by the end of it, I'm melting basically. We are about to have, well, we are ramping up into and experiencing another heat wave in the UK. Going to get up to 36 degrees apparently, which for the UK is horrendous. So I'll not be having a good time this week, which is a perfect time for Factorio to launch. Where I just want to be laying about doing nothing, drinking cold drinks. Factorio version 2.1 is going to come out. We should be, yeah, so we're running there. I will just check Twitch, make sure I've not been talking to myself. I mean, I'm always talking to myself, but it looks like we're live. Cool, that's nice, that's nice. So I will set up all my windows so that I don't get distracted. Why is that not working? There we go. Cool, because if I have it on, you see, if I have the stream on to see I'm live and stream manager and stuff, so I can ban any bots that turn up. It's been a long time since I had one though, but yeah, I get distracted by watching. Well, not myself, but the game itself. I seem to recall that I was basically just deciding that we needed to go and kill a load of. I think I did these guys, didn't I? Yeah, that's why there's all corpses there. But we need to go and kind of sort them out because they'll just keep attacking this outpost when it gets like properly running. I don't think I've set so I haven't even set the power up or anything like that. So we need to clear them out at the very least. And I seem to remember that I decided I was going to take them as well because, you know, there's a sort of a path for the pollution. So we're probably going to be doing a bit of quite a lot of combat actually to start this off. I appear to have defender capsules researched, but not actually being made. Is that right? Maybe I just unlocked that, so I was going to go back and do it. And I seem to recall saying, because I've been playing a lot of Factorio, but it's been the version 2.1 beta. However, these guys were pretty easy to take out, weren't they? Because we're not that evolved, are we? 0.22, oh, that's easy. There are quite a lot of worms there, though. We're not going to get poison for a while, though, I don't think. Okay. Okay. And we got circuit. Oh, and we obviously now we've got the oil stuff to unlock. Okay. Do we go and do them first? Let's see if we can. Will I be able to circle strafe? Maybe them. It's a bit of a bigger proposition, though, isn't it? Yeah, there's too many trees too close for me to. I'm simply not competent enough at driving the car and shooting and stuff at the same time. Okay. Because we presumably I haven't got flammables or anything like that. Why is that? Why have I got explosives up? Oh, there you go. Refined flammables aren't done yet. We could pop them on. I think we've got military available, but at very, very low production. So it's not going to hurt having that tick up, I don't think. Let's get something there. Sounds oops. A bit of a turret creep going on. See if we can. Oops. So yeah, they're sufficiently low. I think it's only sending like small biters at me, so should be okay. This is, I mean, it's going to push up, taking all these out. Do I maybe? I just know. I mean, these guys are definitely going to get hit. Those guys maybe not, or not. You know, not. So problematically enough. But yeah, those two are, aren't they? There's just not enough trees around that. It's like eventually it'll hit them, but it's going to be dissipated and small scale. Oh, I've still got a damaged turret, so do that. Oops. Yeah, I've been playing I've been playing a lot of Factorio, as much as I kind of can. I think I mentioned this. I got a bit screwed over. The Friday Facts have been enormous. I mean, there's been so much in them. They're like 3, 4 Friday Facts worth, normal Friday. Oh look, they've been so big that it's just so much to cover. That's why the videos are like an hour. I mean, say normally they'd be like half an hour if I waffle. That's what they always used to be like, and these are. So I'm recording like 2.5 hours worth of footage. And that's without me speculating, because I know what's in it. It is funny, as people don't know, in a sense, so even though I said it in the first few, but people don't, realise I'm in the closed beta, so some of the comments are clearly, well, they're like arguing with me. No, I think it works that way. Well, no, it doesn't. I can assure you. Yeah. Always funny. I think we're going to lose one or more. There we go. Just quite a lot of worms here. In fact, one of us is a medium. Are you not a medium worm? Say, I mean, it probably said so. In my experience, the Twitch sounds okay with the noise suppression. It's the YouTube. YouTube seems to like amplify it in some way, so it probably sound a bit roboty on YouTube. For anyone catching up on VOD, it is what it is. It's probably need to come in from the top, don't we? Oh, no. Managed to trigger here. Thins the herd out a bit, though, doesn't it? I've been trying to, because it is a little tricky sometimes not to give away things, because they're like, there'll be some tiny little minor thing, and it feels like it's obvious or whatever, so I end up saying it by accident. Obviously I can cut it out from the edit, but rather not say it in the first place, it's just easier. And so a few things. See, I don't, because one of they're quite, they're quite loose with the NDA. non-disclosure agreement, basically. What everyone promises, you know, not to reveal all the secrets while it's in this closed beta. Yeah, I might as well take these guys out. We are running out of ammo. I mean, there are quite a few there. It doesn't look very wormy, though. Let's head back. Maybe set up capsules and stuff. What was I going to say then? Yeah, the sort of the tricky part to it is not knowing, you know, because they like to tease things in the pictures, but without saying. You know, they've always kind of done that with Friday Facts, and so it's like, well, I don't know whether I can say that or not, because it's a, you know, the sort of agreement is not to reveal things that they haven't talked about on the Friday Facts, or they haven't shown, you know, that aren't on the Friday Facts. But does that mean if it's in a picture, can I talk about it? I guess we should get solar. I mean, all of these things are obviously vital. I mean, you've seen the landmine change. That's quite. It's very much, you know. I say they're sort of not. They're trying to theme the Friday Facts, but they're squishing together so many that you sort of end up with just like a random. Because I suppose they're all about the circuit network, so that's fine, sort of thing. But you know, you end up with landmines in a thing that's mostly about controlling. You know, the big reveal is the control in the labs and all that sort of stuff. They say you just they're on the same, and like boilers, you know. So it's like just random things they've added to the circuit network. Do we want to do a research? I mean, I could do a couple of them so that I can have some bots. And then, yeah. And so we are ticking away on something. Yeah, let's do that. And so I will pop in. Now, we need to do, if we do defenders, we actually need 3 because we need to put in, we don't mind about, great, so it's probably best fitting here. So if we put there, and 0 is the, I think that's actually out of the Roboport range, isn't it? That's, oh, it would be anyway. It would be that one. So long as they're within, so if yeah, there will be. It's just the chests that matter. So if we make 0, they defend, oh, bum. If we make 0 defenders, 1 piercing, put that there. It's regular ammo. But yeah, I was trying to give, so I don't know about hints, but like cryptically, and I've also been trying to misdirect. So imply some things, but, you know, not imply some things, but imply some things. Okay. And you would also need green circuits, gears, and things. So, no, don't trust everything I've said. It's quite fun being a little bit naughty. Okay, so that gives us them. I don't really want to go to fast insert. These are, you know, it's like a little bit too slow, but it sort of doesn't matter. Yeah, it's fine. So I want to limit blue machine because it's going to push up power demand. And I'd rather not mess about putting more stuff in. Okay. What was that? What else was? What was I going to put in this gap? we've done flamethrower turrets. Had I left a gap for that one? Sometimes I do, sometimes no, I put radar in. What about shotty? No, they're obviously the next tech up, aren't they? Okay. So it didn't leave any gaps for like... No. Okay, that's fine though. We can pop in. Oops. If we put 0 as the flamethrower turrets, because they'll be ideal for, you know, we've got a... Oh, I did it again. So 0 as the them, and 1 as the engines. There we go. Don't know that I need 100 of them, just doing 50. And we will increase that machine. But you also both need steel. Well, you need pipes and gears as well, do you? I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I might as well, yeah, another stack of engines is fine. So, whoops, we've added on. Oh, so we've not got flamethrower stuff, but then we've not got... We could just make one. So flamethrower fuel is obviously steel and crude oil. So we'd be better, you know, putting it somewhere once we've got our oil in. But the big thing we can do now is our actual oil refining. There's no point having... I mean, we could have the train could be going back and forth, you know, bringing in at first, filling up the tank so that we're ready to go, but I'm not sure if I can be bothered. We'll get the actual refineries built first, I think. So yes, we can go... What was I going to put in there? Probably had some plan. Maybe that's where I'd intended to do the yellow ammo. Oh well. Oh, it's too close. Nuts. So, 0 then is the oil refineries, and 1 as the chemical plants. Oh, so I think I've decided. Oops, I don't really like the trigger techs. I remember being in favour of them when they were announced, and kind of being okay with them at the first couple of Space Age playthroughs, but I think since then I've kind of decided there's too many of them. It's not, especially on the planets. I think I would much rather... Don't need 20 of them, do we? I'd much rather it was just maybe 1 or 2. But because I think on Nauvis the number is fine, because it's like a small proportion of the number of technologies you do on Nauvis. On the planets where you've only got like whatever it is, 10 technologies total, 4 of them being trigger techs is just annoying. It's fine the first time, and it works the first time you play through. After that, not a fan. Not a fan at all. So, I've done lights. Have I ever done lights already? We've done lights already. Don't suppose... No, I can't sneak a machine in there. Have we done... And we've got... all the power things. Is there anything else that uses copper cables that we could... I mean, we've got bacons, but they're ages off. Because I've only got 3 of these, you see. And I need I need to be making others. And again, substations, but we made the power ones. So yeah, it's really just sort of bacons, and I could just leave a gap for them, I guess. But then it's red circuits, isn't it? Which is just rubbish. Oh well, I think we'll just end up with like an odd machine, basically. So we want to leave enough space, but we do that there. And then, so if that's one of gears or not gears, sticks. In fact, that's the other. Could I do sticks? So something. No, again, we've got everything. There is refined concrete. But then we need regular concrete. And we're not making that yet. In fact, we're not even researching them. Should get that on the roll so that we can on the get that going so that we can make a silo. But yes, I think we'll just have to have a... Well, which is better? That's 2 in 0.5 seconds. And that's 2 in 0.5 seconds, so it's the same. Doesn't really matter. Okay. Let's you there then. Oh, I don't need sticks. Just need... Because I'm not going to make speakers, am I? So I don't need sticks. So it's just... cables. That's not too bad then. Where are you? Up cables. And then we go 0 as... Let's do... arithmetic. Oh, I did it again. Arithmetic and decider. And then if we pop that in there, so 0 is the cables, 1 is the constant combinator. How am I doing on power bars? I could do with a top up since I'm right here. Oh dear, look at that. Done it again. Wait, that should have been... Oh look, it's got the wrong thing. That's because I think I copied it and flipped it over, didn't I? That'll teach me. That'll teach me. That won't teach me. Okay. It's not going to hurt to have another box of them knocking about. Oops. Oops. And then everything needs like green circuits, don't they? Cool, I guess we can adjust. We're never going to need that many. Don't even know that I need 50. In fact, given I'm probably going to start again. Some of these builds are irrelevant, but there you go. I would recommend starting again. It's not like a vital thing, but yeah, I think it's just cleaner basically. Especially if you like the burner phase, you've obviously got the whole burner flipping and all that sort of stuff. I don't like the burner phase. Try and get out of it as soon as I can. Yeah, well, I guess we're not going to run out of medium power poles then, are we? So hopefully it's made. I haven't messed up the recipe, and it's made us our chemical plants and all that sort of stuff. So we will go back down and fiddle about with the oil. Did I get your wood? I did. Probably going to need to stock those. Oh, I haven't even put on any on. Okay. I guess I was thinking we would do flamethrower turrets. So yes, might as well kind of take as much of that as we can. Actually, if I try and do sort of 50-50 on the old and the new ammo. So we've got pumps, we've got tanks, storage tanks that is. Guess I'll take just some certain stuff up so we don't need them. Oil. Well, the fluid anyway. Need them in a moment for actual processing of oil. And I've put the walls in already, haven't I? So, what about gates? No. Okay, let's take a couple of gates with us then. In fact, I might take a few more so that I can drive in. You know, make a gate for me by the side of it. I grabbed a stack of grenades already. Awesome sauce. We're already done on that thingy, aren't we? Now, I set the train up, haven't I? Yep, set the train up. Don't need signals for it. Ah, we've not... Oh, we have. How many have we made? 10. Excellent. So we can put them on. I like to have some defenders as well. I've done the carriages. Already grabbed that. What about... We've got some rail back? Yep. Now, we've not made anything. Why not? Ah, I didn't put copper on them. Cool. What about... Yes, we've got chemical plants. Excellent. And oil refiners. Awesome. So, let us... So I've got... all the bits I think I need to defend stuff. Yeah, cool. Let's head back down. Good. Load. I've discovered I'm horribly inconsistent about whether I do load, unload, or pick up, drop off. It just seems to be on a complete win. So, anyway, the latest Factorio Friday Facts, 4443. With the nice circuit network stuff. I think people have gotten a bit confused, but one of the things with it, it's not... So I think people think it's for... all labs, if you see what I mean. But you just... Because what you're doing is you're setting the queue. Well, that's not quite right. it is for all labs, but it's for all labs in the sense that, and it does show this, you can read the contents of the things. I was a bit surprised people didn't go more, you know, didn't kind of react more to that. Because I didn't see any like comments. I mean, I didn't read them all, obviously, because it take hours, but didn't really see any Reddit comments going, "Ooh, we can now read the contents of labs." Because obviously that lets you do things like, you know, manufacture your actual science packs in response to need. So if you set the research, you can just make what you need, which for most science packs that's not relevant, is it? But for Gleber, it means you can have your, because you can, the other thing it twins with is the whole interplanetary communication, because I shouldn't have turned any of that on, because we get we'll be all right. Yeah, far enough away. I was going to say, I've just invited a biter attack and with no defences. Not the wisest thing to do. But yes, you can obviously, you know, get your Gleber, as it were, to only produce science packs when you actually want them. You know, if you want to do a research, you can set it, and you can have all sorts of clever combinator things, which probably a bit beyond me, but if you're so inclined, so really that'd be there, wouldn't it? Doing that. So you can do. Hello, Senna. How are you doing? Hi, Governor. Lab content reading was kind of cool, but I never wanted to control it in more detail. No, I know. It's, you know, I say it's more the. To me, it just struck me as. I say I'm probably not smart enough to do it. It's a bit too complicated. But it was the Gleber thing that I was like, you know, people are going to be happy with that, because that then. And I'm not saying they then build it. I'm saying you know, whoever you're, Michael Hendricks, or you know, whoever you're talking about, can come up with a way of. Actually, I don't really want that to be there anyway, do I? Because that's right in the path. So let's think about that again. You know, they can, and you know, you just copy their blueprint basically. But you know, you can do proper just-in-time manufacturing, because that was always the thing for me. It's like Gleber feels like it's there to give you a just-in-time manufacturing challenge, and then it didn't really work like that, because you've no way of turning. Because what you could do in theory is set it up so that your ship essentially can arrive at the exact time it needs to, in order to, like, you send your ship out. Your ship can be just sat in Nauvis orbit, and you send it, and it makes the packs, sends them up to your orbital station. You know, that's around Gleber, and then as soon as that ship arrives, the platform arrives, it sends them straight up. Oh, well, no, they'll probably be waiting there. Well, they can be waiting at exactly the point, you know, that the platform arrives. You can have exact same right number of packs, and then it you know, flies with with all. Do you see what I mean? It's sort of like. I mean, I guess I'm not overthinking, but you know, I'm sort of thinking about it in a very. That's a complex system, and most people aren't going to design that. But you know, they might get inspired by, you know, an Avadi, or you know, Michael Hendricks type video, you know, explaining how to do it, sort of thing. So basically, no reaction whatsoever. I've needed the input-output switch on the grabber arms, though. Where are you? Oh, bleeding! They're eating the ship. They're eating the ship. That's not good. I didn't think they attacked the ship. Where's the train gone? Oh, bleeding. This will learn me for not putting defences up. Where have you even come from? Got to run back now. Input output switch on the ground. Yeah, I was saying it's a really nice improvement that it completely separates out the things that you can do via input and the things that you can do via output, which means you can do both at the same time. They have really made a mess of my base here. Where are you even coming from, you little monsters? Oops. Should have dotted some defences in. But there you go. In fact, actually, let's leap in the car. Don't eat my coal. Is that all of them? Where have you even... Oh. Look, there's something going on there. Ruwengi. In fact, no, we will repair first. Because we don't want to have power dying. Oops. Nope. I hope you're doing well. Sorry, I'll read your comment in a second. Just don't want to run out of electric trickery. Yeah, so it's really nice that it separates it all out, and that's the type of quality of life stuff I think that this is really aiming at. Really, that was my sort of impression. It's almost like version 2.1 of the quality of life update. You know, that sort of feels like what it's sort of trying to do, as it were. Oh, crikey. More of you. Blimey. Well, let's get some turrets on then. I've been trying to avoid, like, trying to get out of the habit of just putting in defences before they're actually needed. Like, I'd have built a load of stuff, defensive stuff like that. But it's been like, you know, not needed in a sense. So I've been trying to get out the habit of doing it. Why is there even a... Oh, I see. I'm doing that as well. Let's put these in. As you can see, it's not going necessarily very well. Okay. They've eaten the ship. The ship's gone. I ate it. I didn't even know it was an attack, you know, like an attack target, basically. I thought it was sort of immune. Oh well. Oops. Is that it? Is that it? Is that what you've been doing to annoy? What's been annoying me? 2 nests and 2 worms. Is that it? Seriously? Didn't I get some combat bots as well? Seriously? All that damage just from that? Guess it was right in my pollution thing, wasn't it? Pollution cloud. It would be interesting combining it with the universe signals you're also adding for clever, as you said. Just tend to solve it by mass producing everything and dump spoilage something else. Yeah, I mean, it's not. I mean, it's like all circuit. I mean, fundamentally, it's like all of the circuit network stuff is basically irrelevant. There's nothing, not irrelevant, but not needed, as in needed. Most people do a little bit, I would say, or are aware of it and maybe control an inserter or two and stuff like that. But fundamentally, you don't need to bother. And you can finish the game, you know, the entire game. It sort of really isn't required at all. But yeah, it's some nice things. I say that, and so the research lab thing, you can hook every machine, every lab up, and get the contents and do all that sort of stuff if you want to. But it's really more about controlling the tech tree, and you don't actually have to do that. You don't have to wire every lab up, you know, because what you're setting is the tech tree, and which is just one. You know, when you're basically doing an automated version of hitting T. That's what that is. That's what it's trying to explain, but it's sort of that's sort of a conceptually weird thing. So I don't think people quite understood that. Quite what it does. One of the things I should have checked, shouldn't I? Quite what it does when you, if you wire multiple up and try and set them independently. I wonder if it would let you do that, because it's like a tick box basically. It showed on the, you know, on the picture, and you just tick it and kind of off you go. So I don't know what it would do if you opened another lab up, like if you connected one with red wire and one with green wire. Would it let you tick it twice? I don't think so. I think they're, you know, sensible enough to stop that from happening, but just wondered how it did it basically. Interesting. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I didn't check. It's like the cargo landing pads. And I made this comment on somebody else, you know, replied on one other video, on the Friday Facts video, saying like what my favourite change was. And I was like, I don't know, I've got a favourite, so it's difficult to say. But also, there's a lot of stuff that I would categorise on the same level. You know, it's equally exciting. Or, like the cargo landing pad, I basically don't care. I mean, maybe if I do, eventually do a, you know, a space age mega base or something like that, then I'll care. But I'm not necessarily all that fussed about doing that. I'm sure I will. I think, and I've said this quite a few times before, but my difficulty with space age is like that I'm just not that familiar with it. You know, I streamed my first series, the Mega Base one, after having played for 2,000 hours or somewhere in that sort of ballpark. Whereas I played Space Age, I don't know, maybe 100 across all of their various attempts. I think it rewards you doing, like, repeating blueprints, as it were. So come up with a blueprint for the start of Volcanus, and that, you know, that's your, then you always use that one, which is fine. I did that for Nalvis, but I then get bored, you see, if I don't do something different each time. It's a bit boring. It would be a shame if you happen to accidentally show the new patch on stream. Such honest mistakes happen. I think this is obvious, so I don't think this is a spoiler in any way. A lot of it you will struggle to tell the difference because it's not that sort of an update. You know, they did specifically say this, and then idiots like me came on and went, "Well, maybe they'll put in loads of difference, you know, loads of stuff." But it's not that sort. Then, you know, they specifically said, you know, there's no new planets. You know, there's no. I can't remember what else they ruled off the list, but it's not that sort of an update. You know, they're not doing things on that sort of scale. Which I say they specifically said. And it's only because, I mean, to some extent they're making a rod for their own back there, because, you know, Spidertron was something that, you know, was like a really major addition. You know, that they didn't, yeah, well, they had mentioned it ages and ages ago, but almost like as a silly jokey thing. You know, in that sort of territory. And so then when they put it in, it sort of sets a, you know, an expectation, a sort of a precedent that there's a new update, so they'll put something big in. So yeah, I'm not saying it's completely impossible, but the vast majority of stuff, as you've seen from these new Friday Facts, they're not putting in. Why does that have the, why does, oh, because I've put please fill me out with 30. 30's way over the top. No. Yeah, that's just, you know, exactly what they've said in the Friday Facts. So I suppose I could accidentally reveal if there is some super secret big thing, but say most of it, like, you know, they put planets in space, so if we were in space, that would be a major thing I would accidentally show you, but we're not in space yet. But we just, you know, I'm not even vaguely close to it. That's great. Also, as I say, I've been trying to troll it a bit, so that you kind of can't tell. I don't think I'm very good at that, though. What's going on here? No, I'm not very good at the old trolling. The OCD's kicking in, getting exactly the right same number in every container. I'm quite excited about the landing pad, land loader boxes, and that space casino. Space casinos are gone. Yeah, say you know, I'm not. I didn't mean that in a. It's not a dismissive way. I think it's a great addition. It answers a thing a lot of people have been asking for, but also doesn't. You know, if you look on my wish list videos, there's like dozens and dozens of people. Yeah, asking for landing pads or some variation of that. So it's clearly what people want. I think a lot of it, though, it's not actually driven by the whole megabase thing. I don't think they're actually building megabases. Maybe in their view they are. You know. I think it's more to do with people want it as a cheat code, a sort of a. Well, I'm making. This thing that uses. What you call it, tungsten carbide from Volcanus. Why can't I just drop it down exactly where I want it, rather than having to drop it into a landing pad? Put it out on a via bot or something like that. So I think a lot of it's driven by that. I don't think they're really after. They've not got a throughput of 100,000 real science packs a minute sort of thing. It's or if they do, or even if they do, they're just not willing to build a more efficient system sort of thing, if that's what they're trying to do. Right, so let's put some of these guys on as well. Gonna destroy half my own base with him, aren't I? Let's put one here, maybe. These are actually a perfect example. It's like it didn't. If you look at the coverage bands, as it were, I don't think you can see that on there, but that's sufficiently large that they overlap, and you don't need to put them that close. Just put two together at a corner. It overlaps and it's fine. And it's like that's the sort of. But having a 45-degree one when you've got the 45-degree for your rail guns, it's just a nice little addition, And I'm going to enjoy designing, some amazing new defences. But it's going to be entirely aesthetic. It's not really going to achieve a great deal. Let's put one there because it's probably going to be more small myself. Yeah, so it's sort of. And there's also, I think there's also, with that one in particular, the old cargo landing pad, there's like an instant feature creep on it because it's like. That's why they're trying to head off the whole 59 tiles thing, because it's exactly the sort of thing where you put in 59 and people go, well, why can't it be 83? It's like, well, this is what we decided on, So let's put one you as well, maybe. It's more an augmentation, this. I've only got 10 of them, have I? Yeah. Just gives a bit of flaminess for the lols. Yeah, so for me, it's not. It's, I don't dislike it. I'm not against it. It's not a major change for how I play and what have you. So maybe eventually, if I do try and do a space age mega base. I do. Bit of bonus flame damage. Have we got a radar here? We've got a radar. Yeah, cool. So I think that's done. What else did we have in this one? So they said about the circuit stuff. I mean, it's like the heat exchanger thing is, well, the boiler is probably a better example. I don't know about heat exchangers. I don't know why you would particularly hook them up. But boilers, where I do the thing, and a lot of people do with the accumulator, where you read the charge out the accumulator and you turn the water pump off, and or an inserter or something like that. And now you can just do it directly on the boiler, which is nice. But there's already a solution that's perfectly fine and works great and what have you. And yeah, the input output is nice. It also makes it clearer. It's one of the things. It's like easier to understand. One of the things they have done on the whole lab thing is the read technology level. And I'll be totally honest, I don't understand it. I don't know what it means by level. Because because it's probably not something I'll ever do, because I'm not going to, unless I suddenly get addicted to mega basing. Probably not a feature I'll ever really bother with. But I don't really get what the level is. What does it mean by technology level? It sort of gives you a number, obviously, because it's a level. What else would it give you? But I don't really understand what's a level 3 technology. It didn't leap out to me as obvious. I'm sure people will work it out, but yeah, I don't quite know what that's for. What else? Yeah, the cargo landing thing. The thing I didn't. So when I plopped one down, right, or I put down 4 or so, and it seemed to be. So you can rotate them basically. It's 5x4. You can rotate them basically, and that's the thing that confused the hell out of me, because it's just literally. It's a normal building, so like a normal building, you can rotate to the different orientations. Obviously, this one is a bad example because the 180, if you hit flip, it's perfectly symmetrical essentially. And so, but if you rotate it, and of course it's a 5x4 building on a 2x2 grid, so the orientations are not like it. They don't. It doesn't instantly. How to phrase it? So it's not. So the normal cargo pad, that's like rotating a radar. It doesn't make any difference because it's exactly the same. It's a square, so rotating it means nothing, and flipping it as well means nothing. But with the cargo thing, because it's an odd number, 5, flipping it does mean something. And so that's when I said in the video that I tried it out again, that's what I was forgetting, because it's a normal building that you can do all of the normal things with, rotation. And so you can, because what I was finding, well, basically it was like the whole, don't know why I'm even repairing that. It was like the whole rail, obviously rail operates on a 2x2 grid. So I was able to put on a landing pad on one side because it's 5x4. Yeah, so if you've got imagine that is 5, isn't it? But of course that's on a 1x1 grid. So I was going on the other side and going, oh well, it's snapping to as if the rail was there. And so there was this 2 gap. But of course, if you rotate it, it's on a different orientation. So I was being extremely stupid, basically. Oh yeah, and the planets in space. That was a real... Because I'm pretty sure they'd said, like on the forums and stuff, it was... I mean, I think they'd used the phrase impossible, but it was to do with... No, not impossible. It was to do with performance, basically. They were like, we decided not to because the performance was, you know, too high. Cost was too high. But I don't know if that was just a rumour more than anything else. Because the, you know, Factorio Friday, you know, text basically said they always wanted to do it. So I don't know if there's some confusion there, but yeah, it was sort of it was a nice thing because I'd sort of just been assuming they would never do it. How many of these have I got? I got 10 or something. Yeah. So yeah, so that was a really nice surprise. Do I want to do that? They look really good as well, and it's like it's the big thing that they can do that like the mods can't. I guess. I mean, I don't. Maybe somebody will be able to work it out, but is it rotates properly, as in, because the mods generally, you're apparently above the North Pole. Seems to be the idea. And like it's rotating under you, but then how are you staying in orbit? It doesn't, you know, the mechanics of it don't work, don't make sense. But what they've done does make sense. It's literally like, you know, a planet you would see, you know, from the ISS basically. It's just that, which, you know, you've seen in the video. And it rotates properly, as it were. And the lightning's really nice on Fargora. It's like a nice little, clever little touch. Okay. I think I'm going to do this downwards, basically. Do I want to... Maybe if we go up, actually. And then I can process some oil there. What am I actually trying to make? Because we've got red circuits. I've not actually researched them. You know, we can make plastic and sulfur and all of the lovely things, but we don't really have a use for them. So if we get red circuits on the go, and batteries, and explosives, what do I need? I need red circuits for that, don't I? But yeah, it's chemical science. I've just sort of left the science, haven't I? Oh. The space casinos thing, it's sort of... I don't know that they're, in a sense, completely dead. In that... I think you could use the normal recipes to do something similar. But it becomes super late game, I think. I think you would need quite a lot of the researches that let you do that. What's it called? The productivity. So, because you get not the bonuses. Because in the reprocessing, isn't there an infinite tech? Yeah, here we go. Reprocessing impurities necessary to get a more suitable balance of resources. But that's the... Isn't there an infinite tech? Is it not called reprocessing? I don't suppose it would be, would it? It's like... Asteroid something or other. That's the advanced... Here we go. Asteroid productivity. Yeah, because this carbonic asteroid crushing productivity plus 10%. And it is infinite. I guess it hits the 300 limit for productivity. Yeah, because the advanced recipe, asteroid processing does what? Yeah, that gives you the extra stuff. It's the return, basically. So because you get the oxide asteroid chunk back, there's then a chance of that being quality. You know, high level of quality. And of course you can just feed that into the normal crushing, or the advanced one crushing recipe. The bit they've sort of... I know you could... Because the crushers still take quality, I think. It's just it's certain recipes that they've nerfed it on. Maybe it isn't. We could always use normal recyclers, couldn't you? Which I think that was what they were trying to go for, is that it's just like, it's ever so it's like just a bit too overpowered. You know, the current version of it. And so they're sort of not, it came across to me as they're not completely and totally opposed to the notion of, you know, people doing, you know, quality upcycling on platforms. It's not that. It's that was just so... It's a no-brainer. Why would you do anything else? That's what they were trying to stop, basically. Well, that's the impression I got anyway. Maybe I'm reading far too much into it. Do there and there. So maybe I've got the wrong end of the stick. How am I doing with that? Oh yeah, not too bad. Let's do it. One of the that's one of the biggest ones for me. The whole, you can now put on different sides of belts, because it like properly changes, you know, how you design things essentially. I think I said this last week. I don't quite get why they've not just done the proper full on. You can just put it wherever you want to put it. Guess they felt that was just too bad. It's like the whole unloader thing. You know, that code is in the game. Just feel it's just a bit too trivialises a key part of the game too much. Why did I put that there? It's bound to be in the way. I'm not going to promise to do any kind of live stream, you know, like launch live stream or anything. Not least of all because, as I say, a lot of it's to do. Well, I didn't say this, but as you've seen from the Friday Facts, almost all of it is really space relevant stuff. It's not really they shown anything that's not space relevant. I guess there's things like the inserter placing and stuff like that. What else? I suppose labs is labs, isn't it? So it's not just, you know, the bio lab. So I guess that's a base game thing as well. But the vast, you know, planets in space isn't relevant to base Factorio. The pumps, yeah, I suppose there's the pumps. Again, the pumps thing is more about letting people who do janky things not get, you know, not have problems. It's not so much to do with, you know, if you know how to build a normal station, you're not. It was never a problem anyway. Okay, so we've got a bit of plastic. I didn't actually. Oh, I have done red circuits. Okay. So what we can do? Have I done landfill? I must have done. Yeah. Because landfill is basically the end point for stone on my minibus. Bing bong bing. Does plastic get used in anything that we particularly... There's low density structures and stuff, aren't there? Yeah. So we could swap in plastic on the minibus. Where is... Have I put landfill? I have not. Okay. So, how about we pop... Isn't there something... Because stone... there's stone brick for... Could I knock stone brick off as well? How would I get... How would I swap it in? I guess I could... If I botch together... That machine there... And we could use the whole... filter thing so that... just stone brick goes down. And then we can put the chesticle there. And then... And then what? We want landfill, don't we? Let's just let it chug away, because I'm sure... Well, I probably will continue this game at some point, but really this is something to do because I'm rubbish at just chatting. Get rid of that. Grab a few more. Let me take some of them. Grab some of our million mediums. Ah, blue sides, perfect. Let's put those two on. So, we've got landfill in there, so I need to clean that up. Because what we can do, we can hop the red circuits over there. Especially... No, we can't. Yes, we can. No, we can't. No, that won't work. Not for this. I've got the orientation block. Oops. Because... how would we do that then? I could maybe... Because that's got a stone on it. If I move that down... Then I can leap it over there. And then blend it in. It's a bit wonky. Hello, Oxical. Welcome, welcome. How you doing? Okay? Doing well, rather. A good day. So we want to put a little thing here. Making red circuits. And we can steal the greens from there and the copper from there. Okay, that's not too bad. Now, we want them on the right-hand side. Oops. This one, we did this last week. Which bit? I mean, I've done this most weeks. It's kind of my thing, really. So that would be plastic and green circuits. Okay. How about? So I want. Do I want the? I don't really want the plastic. I could do. So really, I want to get rid of the stone brick, but there is something left, isn't there? Don't we need it for concrete or something? Yeah, also the furnaces. So if we wanted to put... I don't think we do want to put plastic on the... Oh, I guess we do for emergency structures. Because if we had the electric furnaces like there, would that be it then? Could I stop electric furnaces? Oh, there's the concrete, but then I want to do concrete up top. So yeah, if we do electric furnaces here, then I can stop the stone brick. Let's put it there just in case. So that would then be just the red circuits. Whatever you call it. Might try... Oh, the mall. Oh, yeah. Might try to 2.1 once it hits. Might have to try 2.1 once it hits. Yeah, I mean, it's sort of... I think you'll be able to update. I don't think you'll be... It depends on how much you like cosmetic stuff, I think, because I'm not 100% sure, if I'm totally honest. If, you know, like the... Well, so when I tried out the Falgoran ruins on an old save, they weren't there. But that could have just been, you know, you had to go out further, or I don't know that it doesn't spawn them in anyway. But you may not care about the Falgoran ruins on your oil sand, so it's not really an issue. So if I do that as... how do I want to do this? If I go... Yeah, I'd give it a go. I mean, you kind of... Obviously, eventually, unless you deliberately sort of avoid it, you know, you won't have a choice, so may as well do it. I said the big thing to me, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe it isn't what they're doing, but I don't believe they can do it like that. I don't believe. So I think the whole trains thing might be the big reason to... It's not fit, is it, for doing that? That's very annoying. Which is that essentially the old rail system is being deprecated. It's going away. I believe, I say, I haven't actually seen them say that, but I'm pretty sure they said it. That, you know, when we came to 2.1, they were like, you know, it's only going to last until... When we came to 2.0, it was only going to last until 2.1, I think. So if you've got old rail still, then you might not want to upgrade, but does anyone still have old rail? If you're that sort of a person, I think you're probably not. You're not going to be, you know, you're probably not really going to be, you know, fussed, if you see what I mean. Yeah, everyone's moved over to 2.0. Yes, so I would recommend switching over, and it should just move over or start over. I played 2.0, but basically has zero use for trains, so I didn't love it. Yeah, you can still do trains. It's like it's still a choice thing. It's not, you know. I do think people have gotten a bit over, you know, overexcited about, oh, trains are irrelevant now. They're not. Yeah, you still play with trains if you want to. There's nothing stopping you. I mean, I do trained bases. And Falgor, you know, you can't really do Falgor without trains. They're still there. I do take with me. I mean, the massive improvements in productivity mean they're not a requirement for most of the other planets. And liquid metals and all that sort of stuff. So, so yeah, they do sort of lose their utility. And obviously that's why quality trains have been put in, and this new cargo landing pad to try to give you more of an impetus for doing it. But even there, I'm pretty sure. I mean, they obviously show it unloading on trains and what have you, but I wouldn't be surprised if unloading on belts is still actually probably the, you know, throughput max way of doing it. But yeah, it gives you options, I think, is like the key thing. So that's red, so that's plastic coming in. Also, I think you mean space age as well. Factorio normal 2.0. You obviously don't have any of the super duper stuff, so there's still a part of regular Factorio. I did not do, or I have not done that, have I? But then I need blue science for that. So, the question then is, how am I actually going to do blue science? And how much blue science? Probably don't need a vast amount. I do also want to check, make sure we've not got any obvious biter. No, that would have gone away. That's trees. I think I might just have a quick sweep over there in the car. Yeah, space engine. I'm not saying trains were rubbish, but I had no need for them. And I only had a few on Falgora, nowhere else, due to the insane productivity increases. Yeah, I don't disagree with that sort of overall point. But yeah, you can still train. I think I have come to particularly with this playthrough and stuff, going to come to the conclusion that for me, early planets are just bots. I don't really. I've mentioned before, I don't like the building on Gleba. The way it. So there's nothing over there. That's cool. The way you end up hitting some tiny patch of water that, causes your belts to get knackered or what have you. I just don't enjoy building there. It's also the terrain is just too samey, as it were. It's all a, and it's no, it's not that it's samey. It's just a explosion of colour that I just find really difficult to work with. I didn't put the oh no, it's blue, isn't it? So I can't anyway. Don't they use? Do they use red circuits? They do. Okay, so we'd need to put them on later. Yes, I don't like. So I don't like building on Gleba like full stop. I find that annoying. So let the bots just do it, sort of thing. Move everything around via bot rather than belt. Folgora is almost built for bots. The management of the excesses is just so much easier when you're moving stuff around with bots. Volcanus is built, but then Volcanus is kind of easy mode planet. You can kind of do anything there. I always end up using trains there because I guess you could finagle the belts around, but your first tungsten patch is off behind a load of lava, so you got to use trains there. But yes, I do take the point, as it were. Okay, so that's the two thingies. Shall we put them in? We need to put... So 0 would be the... what we don't... the... what should we call it? That we don't have. I guess we'd put something else on the other side. I don't know what, though. So something else there, which I think really uses that space up. Okay. I was going to do concrete, wasn't I? That's what I should do, because we're going to need loads of that for the rocket. Concrete is best done up here. Oh, why does that not have coal? Is that because the biters ate something that they shouldn't have eaten? Ah, they did, look. Don't remember an attack up here. Maybe they came and chewed on this first, then. That's the wrong place, that should be there. Oh, they've taken all of that out. Okay. Naughty little biters. There we go. Something done here as well, isn't there? That's missing as well. I don't. Maybe that was an earlier attack. I don't remember it being. Because they were over there, weren't they? With the coal. Odd. What was I doing? Yes, so if we go... to where? Because I need sticks as well. 1, 2, pick 2 on. What is it? 1, 2, pick up sticks. Iron ore, stone, brick, and water. Oh, it's them that need sticks, isn't it? And we can do them elsewhere. So it's just stone, brick, iron ore, and water. Okay. Stone, brick, iron ore, water. So, if we maybe build it here. Oops. That there. No. And then maybe do them like that. You're going to make concrete. And then we can have... We do there then. Put in a box there. Actually, I've wired everything else up. Let's do it that way. So, enable disable. Oops. If there's less than 1,000 of your finest concretes. Cool. Cool. And then, well, I guess we need another one of them. Because they're quite slow. A bit like me. That. One of them. We can bring iron ore over. How are we going to do that? If we go... Because this is a... Isn't it? So maybe if I... do the same trick here. Drop with iron ore. And then going to thread it past stuff there. Would that work? That's a bit of a distance. So maybe... jump across there. Finest spaghetti style. That should give them iron ore. All we're missing now is water. Pure water. Which, that's the nearest water, isn't it? Try and come through this gap, maybe? Fix the power poles. Kind of, sort of ish. Did you know you finished? You might have gone there. Thanks ago. If you finished Space Age, did the lack of trains put you off too much, sort of thing? I've only done it, like completed it once, I think. Like, as in got to the you know, to the solar system edge. I said this in my video. I find it a bit of a struggle, if I'm honest now, because there's just so much. I guess it's a bit like playing like a Crash Storio 2 or something, where it's like, I know, you know, a lot of people love it, Crash Storio 2 and what have you, but I'm not sure. It's not quite one for me to play over and over again, if you see what I mean. If I'm going to do overhaul mods, I'd rather do another overhaul mod, if that makes sense. I'd say Space Age sort of feels a bit like that, where it's sort of like, it's great, you know, but there's just, in a sense, too much. It's the thing I've said before, where it's like, there's both too much in it and not enough in it, where it's like, every planet feels a little light. You know, there's only, whatever it is, 10 researchers or whatever. Half of which are trigger tech unlocks. Everything that comes from there is massively expensive. Well, oh, there's still no copper. What's going on? Oh, there's nothing coming through. Why not? Oh, I didn't ever expand that. Yes, I did. I also processed Promethium and did some Promethium science. Made basically everything legendary. Oh, right, okay. That I didn't do. I think quality to some extent is just not from the thing for. I mean, I know. I think how to phrase it. People are sort of looking at it a bit wrong, quality, in the sense that they just sort of, I don't know, it's part of the whole gamer thing, isn't it, of, it's like when I play RPGs, oh crikey, I've still got my blooming burner stuff here. I look at a guide, basically, because I don't want to miss anything. You know, I sort of, you know, I don't want to accidentally, you know, pick the choice that means that, you know, the game's unwinnable or what have you, you know, that sort of thing. And to some extent, I know that one comes from being an older gamer. Having played RPGs and games where it is totally possible to essentially lock yourself out of winning the game. That's where that kind of comes from. But yeah, so I do appreciate there's a bit of an aspect of that to it, of, well, if quality's in the game, then I've got to do quality. But I think it's really more about, it's meant as an end game grind, basically, I think. That's sort of the, you know, being a percentage-based mechanic. It's for when you've got tons and tons of spare stuff. Oops. You know, it's not really for every single second of the game, if that makes sense. So I do appreciate it's like, well, if it's there, I should be using it. You know, I'm playing it wrong if I'm not using it. Type of weird situation going on. But yeah, because number go up just isn't quite my thing, really. Not for the sake of number go up. As I've said many, many, many times on streams and in videos, if number went up so that I could build a space station or build a rocket ship up, you know, like an interplanetary FTL ship sort of thing, then I would be happy to make number go up. But number go up for sake of number go up, it's not quite my cup of tea. So I say, the fact that the vast majority of quality is just number go up. It's not quite my bag, but so I do appreciate it is for other people. That's what they're there for. That's what they like. Why haven't you got a power connection? Oh, I didn't put the blooming ghost in. Legendary productivity is insane. Well, the machine's not legendary science facts. Oh, right, okay. So, I mean, I'd like to give it a go, but for me, as I say, it sort of feels more like what do you call it? It's like that's the overhaul mod, if you see what I mean. Of like, well, now I do a run with quality, and then I'll just never do it again. Cool. Okay. So now we have more copper, hopefully. Cooper. I guess I probably didn't put the iron patches in and stuff either. I've not killed me power, have I? No. Yeah, so I say, I say that fully in the appreciation that those are the types of things other people like in the game. And that is entirely good and wonderful. Destroyed transport belt there. They must have come and nibbled on that as well. In fact, missing piece there. If I flip that round. Oops. Are you getting coal? You are. Horses for courses, as the expression goes. Or your mileage may vary. Okay, so that should hopefully fill those two bits up. I am balancing them as well. Cool. What about the stone? Doesn't really matter, I guess, but since we've got a few spare drills, just put one. Where did we get to then? We've still haven't done blue signs. Only 10 minutes left. Let's have a quick pollution check. Oh, suspicious. Too suspicious. Let's go and kill something. Got things now, haven't I? Yeah. I didn't grab any ammo. Yeah, there you go. It's one bite of this, seriously. Seriously. Should be able to just strafe it then, unless I'm... Right, there we go. Well, that's an entirely minor inconvenience, wasn't it? Let's sneak through there. Okay. I'm sure we could do some other normal research. In fact, let's do mining prod, stick them on. Do we want to do... So I've got 10 minutes. Could just queue them up, couldn't I? Yeah, let's put the modules on, I guess. Cool. Let it work away on that. Oh, actually, no, that was dumb. I should have put on... No, actually, I can just leave it. Advanced circuits. So, I never made sulfur, did I? So, sulfur needs water. Sulfuric acid needs iron plate. Was that... I didn't miss... No, okay. What was I going to look at? So if I've got... So I could send sulfur over next to the plastic, near the plastic. Yeah, let's do that. And then, as you know, the solid sulfur is it? Water right here. As well. Which only got you to a second, and then that so that needs 20. Oops. That needs 20. And this produces what? 50. So we're going to end up with like 3 or 4 battery chemical plants. So, so if that be 20, maybe we want to target 100 sulfuric acids, which would then be 50. 2 of them, so you would need 10 a second. And this produces 2 a second, so 5 ideally. I don't think we'd actually get to 5. If we do 4 again, And if we each flip that one, and that one. Come on, rain. Yeah. So then we can go boop, boop. Oh, I've run out of undies. Okay. Can't be without undies. I didn't cover everything Friday. So what else was there in Friday Facts? There's the pumps. Exact example of just adding in tiny little things. The oil refinery looks awesome in game. We've seen it there. So does the new assembler. That's pretty much it, isn't it? And obviously the release next week. As I say, I would love to do just to start a new, or to pick this one up. Maybe we could do, but I think I'll probably start a new one for with the 2.1 release. If you see what I mean. And then maybe I could pick this up on, convert over. I don't know. I'd be most interested, to be honest. I might just cheat it. I'd be most interested whether it really does. Does it spawn the Fulgorum ruins and stuff on an existing save? What am I after? Underground pipes. That's sort of type of thing I'm most interested in. But obviously we're miles away from Fulgorum. Well, literally. But we're miles off doing Fulgorum. So I could check it on my an earlier one from the closed beta, maybe? I don't know. But that's for me to puzzle out. Yeah, I can't promise that because work is an absolute nightmare at the moment. If I'm totally honest, it's a parade of stupid. Is how I'm going to put it, without any comment as to who's stupid and why. But yeah, sort of a lot of dumb been going on at the moment, and that's causing me some real headaches. Sulfur. Any lights on them? We're almost out of lights, crikey. Let's put one in the middle then. Yeah, I'd like to do when it launches. I don't actually know what the launch is. It's not, that's not I'm not saying that, and actually I really do secretly. They haven't told us. So I'm still chugging away on my. I've not finished my closed beta playtest because last weekend, I think I mentioned, the Friday Facts took so long, and I ended up having to do some other stuff as well for work that I didn't actually. I was hoping to do a massive. Just you start playing Factorio and suddenly it's Monday type of thing, like I used to do back in the old days. But no, I just didn't. I didn't get a chance to play it at all, basically. Okay, so that is some sulfur for some potential acid, possibly. Let's take that down a bit further. In the past updates, the maps required spawning new map chunks. Yeah, I did go out a little way, but maybe I just didn't go too far, far enough, sort of thing. I did stick on a mech armor with, because I was just cheating. I was, in my old save, I just cheated over to Fulgora, and just stuck a legendary mech armor with, legendary things on it, and just ran in a direction for about a minute or so, and which I think would have got me to new chunks, but maybe I'm wrong. And it didn't seem to have spawned them, but having seen them now in my proper 2.1 playthrough, closed beta playthrough, they're not actually that frequent. So it could have just been a luck thing or what have you. But or maybe maybe they'll do it as a special thing for launch, for the actual launch, and they didn't really care about doing it before. So yeah, they could be there. They maybe not. We shall have to see. So it's basically 6 o'clock. So there's explosives as well. We could maybe make a few of them. So it's still chugging on mining prod, isn't it? I'm not sure it's worth starting anything else. I could put in, I guess I could use this extra, maybe if I just do the one, because it won't fit 2 full things. I could maybe do I do that, make solar panels. I did it again. And then this is just the space for doing, what would it end up being something like that, wouldn't it? So 0 would be the furnaces, and then 1 would be still the solar panels. Just don't need that gubbins. Cool. Oops. Yeah, so I'll be playing the 2.1 closed beta in the spare time I have, but it's going to be very minimal for work reasons. But then when it comes out, I'll do a new save, I think. And then I get to enjoy the burner phase of the game yet again. My favourite. That means I can do like the flipping of burner miners and all that sort of stuff from the beginning. Oh, Casual Raz, the furnace machine didn't lock in. Oh, I haven't actually, so that one there, no. I haven't actually done the research, have I? No, so it's not. Oh, it's not actually available, I'm just leaving the gap. But thank you for spotting it, and welcome to the chat. Hope you're having a good day. So, that's it for today. As I say, if I'm kind of expecting they'll put the 2.1 out either literally tomorrow. Obviously, it'll be European time because they're based in Czech Republic, so it would be on a European time scale. I'm personally am not expecting them to do it on Monday. They could do, but I suspect they would, because what will happen is essentially we'll get told, that's it, it's done, sort of thing, because this is what happened with 2.0. It's like literally, this is the final closed beta version. The next one will be either live or open beta. But I say I'm not expecting them to do it on Monday. They might do. Maybe end of the day Monday, something like that. But I suspect Tuesday, basically. No worries. I say thanks for spot. It's just I'm kind of both ahead of myself and behind myself with where I am on that save. Oh, I haven't got my schedule up. So yeah, so if the stars align and it's on a Thursday, or it'd have to be a Thursday, then or Friday, I guess. Would Friday work? No, Thursday wouldn't work either. I could make it work. Yeah, it depends what sort of time, really. So if it went live sort of lunchtime Thursday, I could probably make it work. No, I couldn't. I say the work is just so annoying at the moment. So basically, I can't. What would no when if they launch it Wednesday afternoon, then I could do a live stream type launch. Because that I think that might be quite fun, but it's not something I I've done before or I have any particular need to do. The stream is just a little bit of fun, really. So yeah, if it's literally Friday afternoon, yeah. Well, they'll do a Friday Facts, won't they? So I won't even be able to do it on a Friday. So Wednesday afternoon, if that happens to be the slot, which it probably isn't going to be, then I'll do a stream, a special one that evening, something like that. But say Monday and Tuesday are completely off because of work. Thursday Thursday I won't be around basically in the evening, no matter what happens. And then Friday, as I say, I'm sure they'll do a Friday Facts. Even if it's just to say it's now on it came out on experimental on Wednesday or something. You can go and play it, but yeah. So basically, if it's the very very tiny possibility of being a Wednesday afternoon, then I would do a stream on the day. But no, it's not going to be that. I'm sure it'll be either like Tuesday. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's going to be Tuesday. But Thursday's another day. You tend to get launches of games because the thing is, basically, if it's a Tuesday, it means they can fix bugs. How many bugs there'd actually be, I really don't know, because Factorio's, as I said in my last video, it's they don't tend to launch it if because they have a lot of automated tests, and they don't tend to launch it if it's buggy sort of thing. So it would be people doing something that was like problematic, if you see what I mean, or strange or weird that none of us testers had found. So yes, I suspect it will come out on the Tuesday, and that then gives them Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to do game-breaking bug fixes, but fix anything that really is knackered. But the other option would be Thursday, which would be more normal, which gives them a day to do mega game-breaking things, but then a weekend where people are actually playing it and they can pick it up on the Monday to fix stuff. But yes, so I say my anticipation is Tuesday, so I would almost certainly not be streaming the launch. However, I will stream this next weekend when it's pretty much guaranteed it will be out, even if it comes out on the Friday with the Friday Facts. I'll do a stream on Sunday as per usual. My expectation is we'll start a new save, more just to sort of do it from the beginning. I will try and test to see if this does switch over and whether something like the Fulgorum ruins do appear. But I think I'll probably start again because just fundamentally I can show the burner mining, flipping and all that sort of stuff. Maybe record it for a video or something. But yes, so that's the content plans. If they do keep doing the Friday Facts, I will keep doing them as well. I suspect I tried to hint in the last Friday Facts video, there is a fairly major aspect of the game, which I hope is sufficiently open and not specific, that I'm not giving stuff away, but there is a fairly major aspect of the game that the current Friday Facts have not talked about. And in fact, there's quite a few areas where they've not talked about, which is why I'm hoping that's sufficiently vague. But if they pick one of those up, well, I suspect they will pick one of those up on the Friday, and say I'm pretty sure I'm guessing, but I think I know what's gonna be in the next Friday Facts. I mean, I know what's in all of them. It's whether or not they decide to do one is the point. So I am expecting one then, but I'm expecting it to end with we're all off on our holidays now, over July. See you in August or what have you or September with the final bug fixes. I suspect that'll be the timetable, but I've been very wrong before, so I could be very wrong again. So that's all of that stuff. If you don't know me, if you just dropped into this stream completely randomly, I mostly do YouTube videos. In particular, I do law speculation videos on my YouTube channel, which is Trismegistus. So I'm going to see if I can point in the right direction. There we go. My YouTube channel, Trismegistus. I used to stream, use Restream to stream to this and YouTube. I don't anymore. I just stream to Twitch. So the VODs will obviously be there for, I can't remember how long it is for associates, but it's like a month or something. But they're permanently archived on my second channel, which is the VODs channel, which is Triggles VODs and Sods. Just search for that on YouTube. I also put, when I do stuff now, basically Trismegistus is entirely Factorio now, and other stuff, which I do want to pick up over summer. I'm not just going to play Factorio, I think. When I, so if I do other streams of other games or videos on other games or what have you, they will all appear on the second channel. So if you want to go over there and subscribe to that, then you can catch up on the VODs for this series and other stuff. It's not got much on it because I haven't pulled everything over. I just couldn't be asked. So you might find stuff on the Trismegistus channel, but it's also of interest. So that's all of them. If you wanted to follow me on social, there's Blue Sky, which I just post when I go live. Basically, it's not much to it. The other one is Discord. I had a refresh on the Discord. It's now a lot simpler. It's just general and Factorio. That was at the request of somebody that to give people an opportunity to chat about like the law speculation stuff, and I guess possibly this as well. I personally am not particularly active on Discord, so that's probably what it needs. It would need me to be properly active, but I just don't use Discord. It's not my social media is just not my thing. But if you did want to go, that is the the join link, and you could chat if there is anyone there about all the law stuff and what have you. Law videos are on hiatus while the whole 2.1 thing happens over summer. I have a bunch of scripts written. I can record them over summer, assuming the UK doesn't melt, basically, with all these heat waves we're having. But I'm intending to record those and then start putting them up again over winter, essentially. So summer, this is the summer of 2.1. And then we're back to law speculation. I have other series in mind. I want to do one on the graphics, talking about the graphics, which is very, very related. What was the other series I was going to do? Oh, I still want to do more mini tutorials, but the trouble with them is, well, as you just seen, this is a sign-off. It's taken me, whatever it is, 7 minutes just to say, you can find my YouTube channel here. I like the mini tutorial concept and idea and format, but I end up talking for too long, and so they're then not many tutorials. Also, I guess the game is changing, so yeah. But yes, we'll be back next week with Factorio on the Sunday, maybe a bit longer, don't know, but with 2.1 for definite. That's the only definite I can give you. Well, that was exhausting, wasn't it? Is that everything? I think that's everything. I think so. So, if you have been watching, I hope you've enjoyed it and you might consider coming back for another one. I've been Trismegistus. This has been Factorio version 2, not quite 2.1 yet. Thanks for watching. Cheers.